Good evening and welcome to Wednesday night's edition of Primetime News. I'm Salima Shimwe-Feleni. Leading tonight's bulletin, SWAPO Secretary General Sophia Shaningwa said those with ideas to help salvage the future of the troubled Air Namibia should come forth. Shaningwa said this earlier today while addressing disgruntled employees of Air Namibia alongside sympathizers who marched to the ruling party's headquarters in Katutura against the liquidation of the national airline.
The employees under the National Union of Namibian Workers handed over a petition to Shaningwa demanding, among others, the removal of Minister of Public Enterprises Leon Jooste, whom they said behaved himself in a dishonest manner and misdirected cabinet regarding the airline. They, like several other organizations and unions in the country, are against government's decision to liquidate the airline and they are demanding for it to be reversed. They said there are several already proposed turnaround strategies that could save the airline.
In your petition, you have mentioned that there were some proposals that are workable, and you are thinking that those workable proposals could at least help out the airliner not to be liquidated. May I also kindly request that whomever is having copies of those proposals to deliver those copies of proposals to my office, so that at least together with your petition, I deliver so to the relevant authority.
On the same date, another group of employees, mostly consisting of the airline's cabin crew and pilots under the Trade Union Congress of Namibia, marched to Zoopark in Windhoek's Central Business District, where they handed over a petition to Secretary of Parliament Lydia Kandetu as well as to Director at the Cabinet Secretariat in the Office of the Prime Minister, Matthews Kaholongo, also demanding for the government to abort the decision to liquidate the airline and seek alternative means to continue the operation of the airline.
Still on Air Namibia, leader of the Landless People's Movement, Bernardo Swartboy, said if government is going to liquidate Air Namibia, then the same should be done to all poor-performing state-owned enterprises, as they are all financial burdens. Swartboy made these remarks in Parliament on Tuesday.
You could then argue that the redefinition of what a failed parastatal looks like, and therefore the decision, because it seems to have failed in the eyes of Cabinet, that decision should surely be a decision taken to all other institutions of the state. For instance, if the number of dollars given to Air Namibia is the question that has led to its demise, then there are other ministries that can fairly also speaking be closed. Ministry of Gender Affairs can actually be liquidated. Ministry of Land Reform can also be liquidated. The Ministry of Agriculture can also be liquidated. So that we then also from there move to institutions like NWR. We move to Transname. We move to RCC and RA and NAM Water and NAM Power and many other institutions, because which lens of analysis is it that Cabinet uses? And it seems that there is just one lens. We have given so much money, therefore we are fatigued, we must close you down and therefore save money. That seems to be the fundamental lens. But if that is the only lens, that's a very narrow lens.
The World Food Programme on Tuesday handed over climate early warning equipment worth 6.3 million Namibian dollars to the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism to enable accurate forecasting of climate events. The equipment includes an advanced special workstation and other high-tech devices that will be used to provide early warning services.
World Food Programme Country Representative George Fida during the handover said World Food Programme is excited to have engaged in the process of acquiring the equipment as it enables Namibia to have a state-of-the-art early warning system. Fedha said the early warning process will set up consolidation of 5 different systems, including the Namibia Seasonal Monitor, which will track agroclimatic conditions across the country to identify and map hazard hotspots.
And that's why we have colleagues of ours seated in Rome who will be helping consolidate this to zoom in on hazard hotspots. And why so? Because sometimes hazard spots are not just in Namibia. They could be connected to what's going on in Botswana, in Lesotho, in Swaziland, around the region. So how that filters across into Namibia is very important to track.
Another system included in the early warning process is the Namibia Natural Resource Monitor that can be adopted routinely to monitor fixed areas of interest for quantification of banned areas or estimation of biomass monitoring.
The Namibia Crop Monitor. This provides high-resolution mapping and end-to-end season quantification of cultivated areas and different crops across agricultural areas of Namibia.
On his part, Deputy Director in the Environment Ministry, Patrice Muteauli, reiterated that the ministry has been working closely with World Food Programme in deciding mechanisms that are vital for Namibia's adaptation to climate change.
Early warning mechanism. We need to develop strong early warning systems that can enable our people, especially our farmers, to be equipped with timely information on what to expect when climatic disasters are occurring.
We will be back shortly after the news roundup. Welcome back. The Bank of Namibia has decided to keep the repo rate unchanged at 3.75%, the bank's governor, Johannes Gavagab, announced today. Speaking at a media briefing in the capital, Gavagab said the bank's Monetary Policy Committee is of the view that the rate remains appropriate to continue supporting domestic economic activity. We will return shortly with the sports news right after the economics roundup. And in sports news tonight, the Namibia Bowling Association will this weekend host the first leg of its 2021 National League. The league, which is expected to host clubs from Windhoek and the coastal towns, will be played at Transnama Bowling Club, Eros Bowling Club and the Windhoek Bowling Club. In an interview with the Namibia Press Agency earlier, the association's public relations officer, Wojciech Majewski, said the upcoming tournament for the inland and coastal clubs will be the first for the year. The coach of the national under-20 football team, James Brits, has called on Namibians to rally behind the young warriors when they take on Tunisia at Stade Cheka Old Boidi in Mauritania on Thursday. Namibia, who is currently level on 1 point with the rest of their Group B counterparts, will take on Tunisia at 1800 hours in their second match of the total Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. We will return after the sports roundup. That's all the news we had for you this evening. Many thanks for tuning in. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe, like, share, and click on the notifications bell to stay up to date with the latest happenings locally and globally. From myself, Salima Shimwe-Feleni, and the entire Nampa crew, it's good night.